It was always great to go to the movies too, because in those days houses were not air conditioned. So in the middle of the summer, it was wonderful to go to an air conditioned movie theater and be cool for a few hours.
A lot of times they'd have a good show on, and I knew if I got out of the theater, I wouldn't get to see it. So what I did, I'd just go in and deliver something and then go in there and sit down and see this picture. And a lot of times it was real good. And I enjoyed it because I'd always have a good seat.
It was the Metropolitan, and they had a gentleman there who used to mimic all kind of birds. And his specialty was that by using bird sounds, he would also talk, and it would sound like a bird talking. I thought it was unusual. Of course, I was about 12 years old at the time.
The Lowe's and the Metropolitan were just beautiful. The lobby and the trappings, all the trappings of both theaters were beautiful.
I just recall that they were magnificent palaces. I particularly recall the Majestic because it was an outdoor, I would call it an outdoor Mediterranean-style garden atmosphere, and it was quite artistic.
These places all were made for live bands and were made for plays. They had a beautiful stage on them. They had little pockets of places for people to sit. The makeup was extremely gorgeous, a lot of gilding of gold, but they were very, very fancy.
The Lowe's was so nice. Well, they had some beautiful wall work, and it was beautiful. And the second floor had a whole about 50 by 150 balcony hallway. We walked into the theater, and it was beautiful. The movies did so much for downtown Houston because we had about 4 or 5 first-class movies uptown.
I mean, downtown was where all the action was. That was the place to go, especially on a date. You want to impress your date, take them downtown.
Remember when car hops and the opening of the Shamrock Hotel put this city on the map? It was a time when Glenn McCarthy and Doug Prince brought fun and excitement to Houston.
A normal date for a teenager in those days was to go downtown to the movies, then walk back, get your car, and drive out to Prince's Drive-In and have some French fries and a Coke or something before you went home. That was a normal teenager date in those days.
Oh yes, of course. That was the place to go if we were going to have a hamburger. Yes, indeed. And then they had the car hops, you know, that took care of us. So when we got hungry, that's where we would go. And we thought we were in high heaven then, sure enough.
Our dad started in Dallas in 1929. So he opened up a one-man hamburger stand. People would pull up at the curb, so hence the term, I guess, curb service. And he would go out to the car, take the order, go back inside, cook the hamburgers and make the milkshake or what it was, and take it back and out and serve the car. And he came down to Galveston on a holiday, and coming through Houston, and he saw Main Street in Houston, and he said he'd never seen a street like that. Of course, in those days, I guess Houston was a one-street town. So he came down and opened up a drive-in at 4500 Main Street. And that was the first Prince's in Houston. That was in 1934.
Well, Prince's Drive-In was, it was the first drive-in type thing where the waitresses brought a tray out to the car and they hooked it onto your car and you ordered a hamburger and a Coke or something. But the thing you went to look at was the girls. They had on short skirts and you really weren't too interested in the hamburger. You were more interested in looking at those girls.